Okay, folks, let's do an update on the situation in the Caribbean. As many of you know, Trump has been making very clear he intends on overthrowing the regime of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, ostensibly for drug trafficking, even though the concept of ally does not make any sense because fentanyl does not come from Venezuela, it comes from the Pacific coast. And if you're going to be cracking down on drugs in America, then you'll probably go after the Sackler family. You probably go after big pharma if your real issue is going after the drug industry. What this is about is oil. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the Western Hemisphere. So what has happened since the last time we talked about this? Well, one, there's been the deployment of 3 B-52 Stratofortress nuclear bombers that flew from Missouri all the way to 50 miles from the Venezuelan coast just to let them know we could do it. Then they sent 2 B-1 supersonic bombers to do the exact same thing a few days later. Just let them know we can do that and we will do that. We've had F-35 stealth fighters doing reconnaissance missions over the coast of Venezuela. We've had more boat strikes, including in the Pacific, killing over 50 people with dubious legal standing to do so. And just this weekend, they announced they'll be moving the USS Gerald R. Ford, a $13 billion U.S. supercarrier, along with its entire strike group to the Caribbean. This is the largest naval buildup in the Western Hemisphere since World War II and perhaps since the Spanish-American War. What does this mean for a nation in Venezuela, which has no navy and has one F-16 as their entire air force? Well, it means that the U.S. plans on getting more in Venezuela. Now we're seeing President Trump also calling the president of Colombia a narco-terrorist, also imposing sanctions on products from Colombia, claiming that Colombia is part of the same corrupt scheme of sending drugs to the U.S. that he's using as the raison d'etre for invasion of Venezuela. They now are amassing over 10,000 U.S. personnel on the ground. They've authorized CIA activity inside of the nations. It looks like Trump is not just going to go for a regime change in Venezuela. He probably will be doing the same thing in Colombia and in other nations unless they agree to go along with his plans. We saw that when he threatened to invade the Panama Canal, Panama went along with Trump's plan, kicking out Chinese investment companies who were controlling parts of canal operations and agreed to replace those with U.S. operations almost immediately. We are going into this era of hegemonic U.S. power being pushed forward, but the problem is we are now in a place of asymmetric warfare. We saw this in Russia and Ukraine, saw this in Israel and Palestine. We would see this in China and Taiwan. Small nations, with the use of augmented AI, with the use of drone warfare, with the use of information systems, would be able to attack large countries. We saw this happen when Ukraine sent drones and Operation Spiderweb deep into Russia to attack air assets. If Trump is right, and there are millions of Trinidad Agua, millions of cartel members in the United States of America, don't think that we will come away from this unscathed. Don't think this is old school imperialism. We could see attacks on the U.S. mainland for the first time in over a century.